I'm glad that you're on the live. I've never met you before, but I've heard about you through just our organization and through other women.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to like get to hear your story and your business. So yeah, I guess we'll start off with just introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you come
Yeah.
from. Yeah.
So my name is Rocio Aguilar Francis. I'm gonna start with my mom and then my dad.
Okay.
So I'm Laguna, Navajo, or Dene in Spanish on my mom's side, and then I'm Chiricahua, Apache, and Spanish on my dad's side.
Oh wow.
So I was raised with my mom's side. We
Mhm.
are from Grant, Sayama, and Laguna, New Mexico. We
Okay.
were raised in Phoenix, to and from New Mexico. And then my dad's family is from El Paso and Phoenix.
Oh,
So, yeah. And me, kind of being this little cute mixture of the Southwest, I always find myself juggling being raised, obviously, country, but in the city at the
yeah.
same time. Yeah, like I don't consider myself, like super city at all.
Right.
I grew up camping and, kind of being always dirty. I'm trying to think of anything else. I mean, I'm the owner of Morning Mist Soap Company.
Yeah.
I'm a mother. I have three kids,
Oh my God. Hmm.
Yeah,
Amazing.
whenever I do these lives, I always try and find like new facts or something that might be interesting.
Yeah. You're like, I kind of ran out of all of them.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love that. I love that you're like you said, a mixture of like the Southwest, so you have connections and roots everywhere. I think that's really cool.
Yeah,
And it makes sense. I think it's just really beautiful. I like when people have like just connections to other places. Like it just
right.
and then like your parents had you, so you're a reflection of all of that. So it's just
Yeah.
like it's just really cool. Well, thank you for that. Let's like get more information about like your business, like why you started Morning Mist Soap and the journey it's been and like where you see it going from here.
Yeah, so Morning Mist, the name of my company is actually my name in English. So Rocio in Spanish means dewdrop. My traditional name is Techpa, and that's in my own language, Laguna or Carison, and that is dewdrop.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's why I named my company Morning Mist.
okay.
I started off well, to clarify, I am disabled. I have epilepsy. So I needed to figure out how I could make a stable income from home. I'm also a mother. So juggling my disability as well as not being able to drive anywhere and I needed to be home with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I told myself, what can I do to be a storyteller, be, um, I guess you can say, I am a matriarch. I'm the oldest granddaughter. My
Yeah.
grandmother is one of the oldest out of 12 kids as well.
Mhm.
And so I stem from being raised in a household with a lot of people and a lot of opinions and a lot of different generations. And I tell these stories and I wanted to share them with my kids, but
Mhm.
also the public. And I
Right.
told myself, well, my yaya, one of my grandmothers was a medicine woman.
Mhm.
I grew up with my great and my great grandmother and my grandmother in the house, and they all practiced herbalism. My mom, goes camping and hunting. She taught me how to do all kinds of things with the land. How
Wow.
can I appreciate the land? How can I share my stories? How can I do all of this? And it was like, oh, hello, skincare.
Yeah.
Like I can take all of the science and the chemistry behind plants and create a product that I can do storytelling with and also appreciate the land and share that beauty of it.
Yeah. That is honestly so amazing. I think, and it's like needed because we see all this other skincare that's really harmful for us. We have no idea like what's truly in it
Hmm.
and why it's on the shelves and why we like use it. So I think
Right.
going the more organic way related to like our roots, I think that's just more special and I think it does more for us. Um, I'm kind of interested because I was looking at your website, but like what is like your like prized possession? Like what product do you like love the most? And what would you recommend for other women or men?
So honestly, I obviously make soap. Um, please wash yourself. Everybody watching, please wash yourself and know what different types of bar soaps there are because there's different
Right.
types. And
Yeah.
I saw a woman talking about people using antibacterial soap every day. Please don't do that.
Mhm.
Normal regular body soap is really good for your skin. It's not going to leave you dry. I would say that's one of my prized possessions is my bar soap because I've formulated it to be gentle enough for everyone's skin using
Mhm.
traditional medicines and scents.
Mhm.
But also another prized little possession of mine that I absolutely love I would have to say is my face lotion.
Mhm.
I saw CeraVe, I saw Aquaphor, and I was like, let me just look at the ingredients.
Yeah.
I'm very well aware of how to break everything down. And then
Mhm.
I formulated my own. And
Mhm.
was thinking to myself, if I can create a more sustainable version of CeraVe, of Aquaphor, whatever, and
Yeah.
it's a normal face lotion that everyone should be using on their face,
Mhm.
that won't break anybody out, that I can wear underneath my makeup every day, kind of modernize it, not be so like my kids call it like almond mom. Like you think of natural products, you're not,
Right.
you think people are rubbing oil on their face and, like super like hippie-ish. But I
Right.
wanted to make a modern version of regular face lotion that anyone can, cop at a store, like any grocery store really, but it's
Yeah.
affordable and it's handmade.
Mhm. That is really awesome. Do you feel like that's kind of like your most popular product, or has it been a
Um,
popular product?
Yes, honestly, my toner, my liquid face wash, and because I sell it in a bundle,
Oh.
so I make it super simple. Like you can get anything that you need from my store and create a whole routine for yourself.
Oh.
I have hyaluronic acid. Not even a lot of people use that or know what that is,
Yeah.
but it's really good for your skin.
Mhm.
And it just adds more moisture to your skin. Or it can even help with dry patches when you break out, if you have flare-ups with eczema or psoriasis. Um, One of my top sellers would have to be my lotion bars.
Mhm.
I created a lotion bar because one, I was pregnant. Two, I was breastfeeding. I
Mhm.
thought to myself, how can I create a less wasteful version without having to use plastic of lotion that can be used on your stomach when your feet are hot? Everyone gets hot feet, swollen feet. If you have diabetes, you can massage yourself. A,
Mhm.
a multi-use lotion bar that can even help with bug bites that the kids can have access to, that they can understand. And like that's generational teaching right there, being able to
Yeah.
take care of yourself, show your elders that you're taking care of them. And there's something very intimate and beautiful about creating something so simple that can change a conversation, your skin, and even the earth by using less waste.
Right. No, I love that. I think just the idea of like what you said, how it's knowledge that we have learned, but like giving that back to like our children, in even our elders, like the benefits of like using what was it, hyaluronic acid?
Yeah.
Yeah, I use that too. I actually need to get a new refill, so I actually might look on your website and buy it. But yeah, I mean, it's so important. So, I want to go into the next question. How do you, and it kind of relates to what we were just talking about, but how do you feel like your business and your work uplifts your own community, but also your family?
Yeah, so I would like to start with it uplifting my community in ways of me speaking to the youth. I've
Mm.
always done little mini pop-ups here and there, and one that specifically touches my heart is when it was like a little mini youth seminar for San Carlos.
Oh,
And I
nice.
sat in a room full of teenagers who really didn't care for, skincare. Like, how do you, first of all, teenagers don't even care about like anything,
Yeah.
so how am I going to make this so interesting? But I
Hmm.
had a room full of teenagers just looking at me like, with an expectation of how you're going to entertain me. And I
Right.
immediately tied that to let's talk about who you miss. Let's talk
Mhm.
about your grandmothers. Let's talk about your grandfathers.
Mhm.
When was the last time you sat and just asked them a question? What
Yeah.
did they smell like? What do you remember them, their blankets and their clothes smelling like? And how did that make you feel, right? And those are the ways that I brought them into the conversation. And I had one kid that decided to stand up, and they really miss their grandma. And I'm like, this is exactly why I do what I do, because I call and I open spaces to talk about our ancestors. And
Yeah.
a lot of our elders have trauma that is not yet ready to be healed. They're not ready yet, but the youth is curious.
Yeah.
And that is how I uplift my communities, is just simply dropping in. I create something that, for instance, my Apodaca candle, that's my great grandfather's last name. I get
Mhm.
to say his last name and I get to burn a candle and I get to pray. And
Mhm.
that name is now known in my house again for another generation. The kids look forward to hearing stories of me camping with my tata Mike, cooking in the backyard, helping roll his cigarettes, doing little things, chopping wood with him
Mhm.
and him going hunting and him digging in the dirt and teaching me how to grow things. And that's exactly how I plan on uplifting communities, right? Because my deodorant tubes, they're biodegradable. So I'll
Mhm.
always remind people, hey, grab a seed, go plant something with somebody.
Mhm.
Because you can put soil in my,
Oh.
tubes
Mhm.
and then it sprouts and you push it up, boop, and then you put it in the ground.
So
And
cool.
it's little tiny things like that,
Mhm.
that honestly make a big difference in small or big communities. It's just, it takes one person.
Mhm. I think it's so cool because there's like a story behind it. Like you're telling a story through your products.
Mhm.
It's not just like a commodity or something you're just
Right.
trying to make money off, but like you're using it to share your family and your heart, but like encouraging other people to do the same.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
Um, that's incredible. Um, what projects are you working on right now or in the future that you're excited about?
So right now, I took a break from making 100 chapsticks. But I'm right now I'm making a bunch of wholesale stuff for the year, for different little, stores here and there or, private clients. I'm currently trying to start making classes a little bit more accessible, whether they're virtual or in person in New Mexico and here in Phoenix,
Mhm.
or in the Glendale area. So those are little things. And I've also been writing a lot more poetry because I do a lot of storytelling within my soap products themselves.
Mhm.
I usually have poems that tie to a certain product because just like, I've had a collection to honor my father who passed away. So it was called 1974. And that's going to be tied with, it was tied with different scents, and different colognes, but also those names of those scents and the colognes, the soaps, whatever, all have a poem that go with them.
Oh,
So I'm hoping that I can start sharing my poetry publicly, a little bit more, and just make people aware that it's not just skincare.
mhm.
This is like you said, it's not a commodity. It's not something that I'm doing strictly to make money off of. This is something I'm extremely passionate about, and I know I'm a very vocal person. I was raised to fight for what's right, to be proud of who I am and where I come from, and
Yeah.
I come from a very loud family, and proud.
Mhm.
And this is something, I'm breaking barriers and just trying to expand what I can do. I've made clothing for a little bit, hats. I want to kind of get ready for a little bit more market season finally because it's cool enough over here in Phoenix. I can
Okay.
go outside without, sweating.
Yeah. I know. We go to my family's from Arizona as well, so we're always
Yeah.
back and forth. Right. It's like hot and then hotter.
Yeah.
But okay, that's awesome. I love. yeah, I would love to see more of your workshops like in the Pueblos. I feel like that'd be so
Yeah.
cool. Like I love the story you just mentioned about San Carlos. Like
Hmm.
I'm sure like the same like workshop would affect some of the kids here, and I think that'd be so like beautiful. So that's really exciting. Our next question is, what advice would you give the next generation of Native women leaders?
Ooh, that's that's a heavy one.
It is a heavy question.
I feel like I can go on with this one, but one thing that I've learned over the past 7 years of being in business is that it's going to feel the most, I guess you can say in a way, confusing. You're conflicted half of the time. You
Mm,
really are because you're pushing yourself to do something that you believe in, and then half of the time it doesn't work out.
wow.
So I would give advice just to give yourself grace, give yourself a lot of space to grow. You will always be a different woman, and every 10 years you're going to be
Mm,
changing. Your goals are changing, your perspective on life, your beliefs, they
yeah,
will always change. But something that you have to stay rooted in is your heart.
yeah.
We need that's where the strength comes from. That's where our stability comes from, is our
Mhm,
matriarchal power of being feminine and being divine. And that is something I've had to learn so hard
mm,
because I come from basically being raised with a whole lot of uncles and a
mhm,
whole lot of strong women that
mhm,
were raised in trauma that needed
mhm.
to have armor. And
Right.
I have that armor. And I also have that soft kindle, right? That little flower, that little flame that keeps burning.
Mhm,
And my children need to see a balance of both. And I've learned having that femininity and that matriarchal power within my business even aligns me with myself more, but
right.
also shows different I would say predominantly white spaces, right? Westernized business is extremely different from how we do business.
Yeah.
So you insert yourself into these spaces, and then they see the softness, they see the power and movement that a woman can make
Mhm,
without having to be a shark.
right.
And that carries the most power because when you move in silence and when you move in that divine, you know, softness of yourself and who you are and where you come from and who we are as a people, that got us here to even being alive still to this day. And the power in that, no one can ever duplicate that. And so I hold strong in that advice.
Wow. I That's incredible. I think I agree with everything you just said. I think that's like our power and our gift.
Mm.
And it's yeah, I think it's supposed to be taken seriously and also supposed to be given. And no one can duplicate it. I agree with that. But wow, I'm like this is just a really good conversation.
Yeah.
um where can we find you? Like what give us like your website, your Instagram account or anything else that we can find you at.
So I have my Instagram account, Morning Mist Soap Co. And then I have my website, morningmistsoapco.com.
Okay.
Currently, I know I do random pop-ups here and there in person. If I'm kind of in the area, I'll let everybody know, but I'm mainly online because I wanted to have the accessibility for people that are in rural areas, right, that have family members purchasing for them,
Right.
that don't really get into the city. And
Mhm.
people also, again, I highlight disabled peoples because, we can't always just go to the store and go pick something up.
Right.
So
Mhm.
I'm mainly online, and I'll hit you up if I'm in town. I always tell people, look, I have my burrito lady's phone number, but you'll know I'll be pushing some the text messages out there. Everyone knows when I'm flying into Albuquerque.
Oh, I love that. Well, thank you so much, Rocio. Thank you so much for just who you are as a woman and what you carry and your business. I think I just love the way that you run your business. And I think it's just an example for women like me who want to start a business and other women who, yeah, just like need inspiration. So
Thank you.
thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for joining our live. And I will make sure to put um, your information and everything. I'll put it on our stories and our account so people can find you.